In this segment, I'm going to illustrate how to use find-replace rules. These are the last rules in the grammar, and they're very easy to use. They're just like the find and replace operation in any word processor. We'll specify an input string, and whenever that input string is found in the text, it will be replaced by our output string. And to illustrate this operation, I'm at clauses 100, which produces the question, did John read a book? We're going to use this as an example because we'll write a spell-out rule to insert question marks, and all punctuation marks are viewed as words in TBTA. So let's begin by writing a spell-out rule for clauses that will insert a question mark for questions. Let's use Grammar Wizard for this. So we're going to say spell-out rule add word. The word will be a question mark. The tag will be question mark, and we will add this to clauses. Let's specify that this must be a question, either a content interrogative or a yes/no interrogative. And there aren't any groups yet for clauses, so let's add a new group. We'll call it questions. For the topic, let's select questions. There it is. Let's modify the name. Add the question mark to all questions. Okay, we've entered a new constituent into clauses called question mark. Do you want to edit your first clause phrase structure rule? Let's say yes. It inserts it at the top, and if we click on it, there's our example. Our clause phrase structure rule will eventually become much more complex than this, but that's all we have for right now. So let's generate the verse. Okay, we see several problems here. We need to move our patient noun phrase so that it precedes the question mark, and this period, if we rest the cursor there, insert it at end by phrase structure rule, clauses, generic, etc. When a phrase structure rule doesn't know where to put something, then it will always insert it at the end. So let's take care of both of these issues by modifying our phrase structure rule for clauses. Insert new constituent. Let's insert the patient noun phrase first, so we'll select noun phrases and specify patient. Do you want to enter a name? Let's say no. And now let's also insert period right there. And we'll position that after the question mark. Now click Initialize and Generate. And we see John read a book, question mark, period. Now let's use find replace rules. First of all, you'll notice that there's a space before the question mark. That's because, as I mentioned earlier, it's treated as if it were a word. So let's write one find replace rule that will eliminate the space before that question mark. We can use Grammar Wizard. Find replace, change space question mark to question mark. Excuse me, it's that simple. There's already a group called punctuation, so we'll put it in that group. Topics. Is there a group called punctuation? No, we don't really need a topic for some of these find replace rules. Click the Initialize button and then the Generate button. The rules are executed. John read a book. Okay, so we've eliminated the space before the question mark. Now let's use another find replace rule to convert question mark period to just question mark. So again, we'll use Grammar Wizard. Change question mark period to question mark. We'll put this in the group called punctuation. Executing the grammar. Okay, John read a book. again, we're going to ignore that tense auxiliary did. So we've eliminated the period and we've eliminated the space before the question mark. These find replace rules, they're used for general cleanup like this. They can also be used for contractions such as converting did not to didn't or will not to won't, things like that. And that concludes this segment.